Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it away. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it away.
Dag nabbit. Dag nabbit. Dag nabbit. I was muted. Okay, we'll start over. That's fine. That's fine. I love saying it twice. I love saying it twice. Yeah, it was me. I thought I unmuted myself. I muted myself because my dog was walking around. So I'll wait for everybody to get the sound back. Sorry about that. Sorry, guys. I had myself muted. I'm glad I looked at the chat. Like, I didn't scroll up yet to the top of the chat. That's normally what I do. So I'm glad I didn't do that. But welcome in, everybody. I was just saying welcome in, and my dogs were walking around. So I'm glad. I'm glad that it was muted for you guys. A little quiet there, But welcome in, everybody. Hopefully you guys are having a great great end of your week. I was gonna say start to your week. Now I really can't talk. End of your week. And thanks for letting me know I was muted. The dogs were walking around, so I was like, oh, I better mute myself. And then of course I didn't unmute myself. But I was just saying we're gonna talk about Idaho for tonight. Again, tonight we're sticking with it. And I was gonna say hello to some of you guys in the chat, and we'll get with tonight's live. If you haven't been here before, my name is Tanya or TitaniumBuilt. You can call me either or. I don't prefer one over the other. I know, just to let everyone know that's in the comment section, I know I say Kohlberger with an L in there. That's just my accent. It's how I say it. I'm going to say it like that. That's just how I do. Because people have been in the comment section saying that. And I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. Just think cold burgers. I don't know. That doesn't sound like fun either, eating a cold burger. So I was like, I'll pronounce it right when it's over with. Hey, Ladybug. Hey, Mary Beth. Welcome in. Hey, Cyber Warrior. It's good to see everybody. Hey, DM. Hey, hello. Hello, Courtney. Oh, barbecue for your new neighbors. That sounds like fun, though, Mary Beth. Have fun. Yes. Have fun. That sounds like a fun time. And you need that. You need to have some fun. That sounds like fun. Ooh, we're gonna find out tonight, DM. We'll find out. Who found out? We'll find out exactly because I was reading earlier, and I think it's the same. I want to say the same date. I want to say the same date that I read earlier. A crafty one. Welcome in. Hey, Michael. Hey, Mr. Rosebud. Hey, Triple L. It's good to see everybody. Hey, Pete. Hey, is it Devony? I said it right I think the other night. Devony. I think that's how you pronounce it. Sailor Outlaw George. I'm Tanya with an A, Tanya. So I get Tanya all the time, which is fine. I don't prefer one over the other there either. I got used to that a long time ago. Hey, Willows. Does anybody else have a crazy name that they like, like a crazy spelling? Because mine is supposed to be Tony, I'm pretty sure. But Vincent's mom used to spell it Tania, and I like that way better. I'm like, I like that. I like the way that she spells it. Hey, baby girl, welcome in. If I missed you guys, I'm sorry. Hey, Wolf. Hey, Southernish. Hey, hey, me. Me said no sound. Hey, Felicia. Hey, Tanel. Yeah, still leaning on the side of guilty. Still leaning on that side. How you doing, Tanel? And thank you, Southernish. I was like, is it me? Is it you? Welcome in, everyone. I know, no, it was definitely me. It's always me usually. If I have a doctor's appointment, it'll happen when I have a doctor's appointment because I'll take my MacBook away from the speaker and I'll unhook it from this mic, and then that mic will be trying to pick it up, and you guys won't be able to hear me. So yeah, cold burgers. We have like a place that sounds I think that's the name of it around here. But yeah, you can spell however you want. He doesn't deserve his name to pronounce correctly. Yeah, I said once he starts respecting the court, I'll respect him. That's what I said. Kohl's department store. That's probably what it was. I think actually when I first saw his name, I replaced the H with an L, like in my mind. Maybe that's where I got it, but I think it's just the way I say it. I don't see me changing it either, Triple L. It's not like I'm doing it like out of disrespect or anything. Like it's not, I mean, I literally just the way I pronounce his name. I just have the worst like accent when it comes to saying names. Like I can look at someone's name for an hour and I'll just be like blank. I said it the right way. Oh, that's good. Is it Tanel or Tennille? Oh, hey, Machichi. Got that one down. It's good to see everybody. Hopefully, I'm got everybody. I'm just kind of going through the chat. We'll get it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. How's everybody doing though today? It's actually Thursday. It's May the 1st. I cannot believe we are already in May. When is does anyone know off the top of their head? I can always Google it. When's what comes first? Memorial Day. That's what I need to know. Because that's when I know that pool will be opening. I look like I'm ready for a night out. Oh, I did extra makeup today. I did extra makeup. Maybe that's what it is. I am ready for a night out. I don't even have sleeves on. I was like, I'm wearing a tank top tonight. That's so weird of me. I don't think I've ever, maybe once. Maybe. I don't even know. I usually have like my arms covered. Nothing wrong with keeping your arms not covered, but I'm just saying I usually don't have them uncovered. I'm trying to figure out where the thing was I wanted to show you first. This isn't it. We're gonna go over this first. Couldn't figure out where to find it. You mowed the grass in the rain? Worked out? Thank you. I did my makeup. I just like I'm gonna put extra makeup on today. This is how I pronounce his name. Burgers. Yeah. Rainy day for you too, Ladybug? It's raining here bad. It was just pouring, but I only have one dog. I have two dogs. I have two. I couldn't remember because one wasn't in here earlier. So I do have both of them. So they'll be okay. They have each other. They're cool. They're good to go. If not, I'll send them out to Vincent. So first thing I wanted to go over. So I want to go over the FBI's role for tonight's live in the Idaho 4 case. What all did they do for the case? What should we expect to see come out from them, and how they tracked, Kohlberger from Pullman, Washington to from his apartment over to Moscow, Idaho. I have a document that we're going to go over. It has all that information. So if you're not familiar with the channel here, this channel, my channel, our channel, we're kind of going back and reviewing the stuff that, came out in the Idaho 4 case in the beginning. We've been covering this since November 2022, but we're kind of just going back and doing a recap on pretty much everything that we can think of. Anything that my little brain can conjure up, that's what we'll go over. Hey, Squeaky. It does, Felicia. It makes me feel better that everyone uses to spell his name with an L. Hey, Micro. Slow burgers. It's fan club. I haven't heard that one. Hey, Faith. It's been a while. It has been a while. Hopefully you're doing well. I don't know how I got so far up in the chat. You guys are fun. Okay, you guys are funny. So there is a closed hearing. So before we go back in time, we're going to stay in present time. But there is a closed hearing. It's sealed to the public. It's going to be on May 5th at 11:30 a.m. I'm not sure what it's about, but I know that they did have a couple things that they wanted sealed, so maybe it has to do with that. Maybe we will get it in document form. Hey, yeah, she's scratching the floor back here. She's trying to bury herself. But maybe they'll give it to us in document form, later on, later on the courts will process, the court paperwork. Hopefully they don't redact everything, seal everything. But Judge Hippler seems like he's not the type to really be doing all that. He said he wasn't going to seal or redact a whole case file. So hopefully they will let us have a little bit of a peek-see at what they're talking about, because I like to know everything. So the first thing I wanted to pull up, I believe, is just this post from the New York Post, and it just goes over November 17th, 2022, when the FBI joined the investigation. So they joined the investigation pretty quick. And then this was published November 17th, updated November 18th. So the FBI has joined the investigation into the gruesome stabbing murders of 4 University of Idaho students, as prosecutors warn that the killer or killers are still at large. Moscow Police Chief James Fry said the FBI has joined the Latah County Sheriff's Office and the Idaho State Police to investigate the bloody murders which happened at the students' off-campus home. Currently, we have 25 plus investigators working this case, and that was 4 days in. The murder is still out here, Fry added, noting that investigators are continuing to collect evidence at the scene. Meanwhile, Latah County Prosecuting Attorney Bill Thompson said it certainly is possible there is more than one suspect on the Today Show Thursday. The murders of Ethan Chapin, 20, Madison Mogen, 21, Xana Kernodle, 20, and Kaylee Goncalves, 21, on Sunday rocked the school community, with police describing the crime scene as the worst they've ever seen. All 4 of the victims are said to have been stabbed to death in the early morning hours. Stabbed in the early hours of the morning while their 2 roommates were upstairs. And now we come to find out they're actually downstairs. Authorities revealed Wednesday a 911 call wasn't made until hours later, saying they could not give an answer why and would not reveal who made it, citing the open investigation. Initially, the local police said they believed the attack was targeted and there was no immediate threat to the local community, but now appear to have backtracked. Although the FBI is best known for investigating interstate and federal crimes, it is often brought in to assist smaller police forces when a crime of magnitude happens, as it has access to resources and technology a local force may not. And that's why they came in. Latah said Thursday they needed the help, that investigators do not know who that person is, referring to the murderer. Police are also in search of a murder weapon and believe it might be a Rambo-style knife, a local store owner said. Moscow Building Supply General Manager Scott Jute told the Idaho Statesman that a police officer came into a store to inquire about the sale of a K-Bar brand combat blade. Well, Jute said the knife in question was used by U.S. Marines in the 1940s and is similar to the knife Rambo has. And then that's kind of how we found out. Because the cops were going around and they were asking locals, do you sell a knife like this? Do you know anything about a knife like this? Have you sold anything like this? That was kind of, the questions they would ask. And it got out to the papers because this was like right before, this was before the gag. So, this was in the beginning of the case when Bill Thompson was going on Today Show. I forgot he went on the Today Show. I might have to look that up for us. I forgot he went on there. Maybe he'll go back on after the trial. Give us like a recap. So we went through this before and I can't remember. It's been a long time. This came out in May of 2023. And so we've been hearing, that they didn't document their work and that there were no notes from them. And I was hearing that a lot there for a while. Like the prosecution couldn't give any notes to the defense because they didn't have any notes because the FBI threw their notes away after they were like done using them. But we have a 24-page document right here that shows us what exactly they did in the investigation and what they gave to prosecutors. So I thought we'd go through that tonight. We can even, if you guys want, I did one, but I was starting to go and do all of the cameras. So if we don't get to those tonight, I'll make sure I do them and then I'll show them to you on another live. Because some of these are houses and I didn't know that. I'm not until I started looking at them. So maybe I'll put the map up too while we read over the document. I'm gonna grab my drink really quick. It shouldn't take us too long to get through this because it's like kind of spaced out pretty good. So don't let the 24 pages scare you because it says 1 of 15 actually. So through the course of this investigation, actually before we get started, would you guys do me a favor and just hit the like button? Let me blow this up so everyone can actually see it that wants to see it. Blow it up more. I don't know what's good for you guys. I mean, I could probably blow it up to the skies and I still wouldn't be able to see it, but is that good for you guys? I think that's good. Right, Samantha? Yeah, no one's throwing away notes. I keep notes. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't need them. If I was like an FBI agent, I would be keeping everything I did. Everything. I'd document it all. I would. I just would. Okay, cool. I'm gonna get my glasses on. Be good. I'm supposed to wear these all the time, but I don't. Obviously. So, through the course of this investigation, investigators performed an extensive canvass of Moscow, Idaho, and the surrounding areas to include Pullman, Washington, Clarkston, Washington, and Lewiston, Idaho, for video surveillance which may have been relevant to this investigation. The surveillance, which was collected and reviewed by Special Agent Hilly in conjunction with other investigative leads in an attempt to identify and locate a suspect and/or suspect vehicle. Through this surveillance review and a review of other investigative leads, a suspect vehicle identified as a 2011 to 2016 white Hyundai Elantra, hereafter referred to as Vehicle 1. Additionally, a subject was identified as Brian Koberger. They have his last name all capitalized. I want to make sure. The following is intended to be a summary of the collected surveillance footage highlighting pertinent sightings which appear to show vehicles matching the description of Vehicle 1 or sightings of individuals matching the description of Koberger on November 13th, 2023. The below noted camera location. Does he mean 2022? Must be a typo. Yeah. Like I'm over here, my brain just hurt there for a second. I'm sorry, but that's supposed to be 2022. The below noted camera locations were checked for their timestamp accuracy as compared to actual current time. The following time accuracy was found for each location. So, like, I don't know if you guys have surveillance cameras, but sometimes when you set them up, like, I don't know why people don't set up the time, but they'll just like skip that part. Or it'll be like on a 12-hour clock or 24-hour clock, and it'll be like, it starts at 12 and it'll be like 12:05 or something. And they'll be like, oh, that's close enough. And they, start having it record. So some of these times are like approximate. And then others they have them to accurate time. So the first one here, I wish I had I do have a double screen. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, I forgot to read over this whole thing I made for you guys too. That's okay. I was going to see if I could share this with you, and then I wanted to show the house. So this is a house here. Let me share this with you actually. So see, you can see it. This is at like 787. I don't know if it looks like a house, just a house to me, not even a duplex, like a house. So that's the first camera that they got Brian on. Let's see if I can just go up here and then type in the other addresses. Okay. Let's see if I can drop a pin here. Okay, so the first one is this one. This is going to be the second one here. Just seeing if these are showing up for you guys. Okay. And then I'll read over the document because it might be like better to have like a visual. So the first camera location is the 787 Indian Hills Drive, Moscow, Idaho. Camera time is accurate to local time. The second camera is 763 Indian Hills Drive. Camera time accurate to local time. And then the next camera is 755 Indian Hills Drive. Let me see if I can. So it's just like these are just like houses, like one. They're literally what they have two houses separating the first camera to the second camera, and then the second camera to the third camera is no houses. They're right beside each other, just around a corner, it looks like. And then the next one isn't going to be until 1311 South Main Street. See how far that is. So that one doesn't pick him up to all the way over here. Okay, sorry. I was going to say you probably went through here. Okay, that's a little bit of a drive to have him again. And then the next one is 1125 Ridge Road, apartment 108. Camera time accurate to local time. Wish I could do this a lot faster for you guys, but and then the next one's going to be the 1320 Linda Lane, which we've seen the cameras on that one before. I think that one might be the one at the end of the lot. Yeah, so that one's at the end where it goes to like a cul-de-sac. And then the next one is going to be 1112 King Road, which is the house right beside the 1122 King, the murder house. It's going to be the blue one with the light bulb camera that they had. And it's the camera time is accurate to local time. The one at Linda Lane, the one I showed you before, this one, the last one, the camera time was approximately 5 seconds behind local time. The one on South Main was 1 minute and 43 seconds behind local time. So then I'll share this with you. But then he goes to 1330 Linda Lane. That's the one that's in the parking lot. That's the one that we have on camera that we see. 451 Paradise Drive, Moscow, Idaho. Camera time accurate to local time. 1455 Southeast Bishop Boulevard, Pullman, Washington. Might be channel 10. I don't know what CH10 means. Pullman, Washington. Camera time approximately 7 seconds behind local time. Northeast Stadium Way at Southeast Nevada, Pullman, Washington. That's the Washington State University. Camera time accurate to local time. Northeast Stadium Way to Grimes, Pullman, Washington, and that's WSU. Camera time accurate to local time. All the ones at the school will be accurate. Northeast Stadium Way to Wilson Road, Pullman. Northeast Stadium Way to Cougar Way. 301 5th Street, Clarkston, Washington. It's the Costco that he didn't get into. Does anyone know why he didn't get into that? Maybe he didn't have a Costco membership, but they have Costco's in Pennsylvania. So he would know that you would, I would think he would know that you would need a membership to get in. And they make you actually like scan it there. There are a lot, I don't know, like here anyway, Sam's Club isn't as like crazy with their cards. You know what I mean? Like I don't even ever go in like carrying my card. It's in my wallet. I just like walk in and smile at the guy. It's usually the same guy working, you know, but like at the Costco, you have to scan your card. So maybe that's why he couldn't get in. So yeah, maybe he just wasn't a member. Yeah, or it expired. No, I don't, Kathy. If you could explain what it is, like maybe. Yeah, you can use your app. You can use your app. Oh, about the cell tower? Yeah, we're gonna learn tonight about some of the cell towers. I know a little bit about, I think they had what they were pinging off of like one in Moscow, but this is more of like they're like these are gonna be more of surveillance that they found. They found these not only at stores, but and businesses, but at homes, which and the university. So yeah, he was there's gonna be towers. I'm sure the school has one. He's gonna be pinging on the towers coming into from Pullman into Moscow as well. When his phone's turned off, they know that he turned his phone off because he had like 90 some percent battery. So that's kind of gives them it's like um trying to think of the word. I can't think of it right now. I can't not direct evidence, but like circumstantial evidence. Like the circumstances are pretty much like, yeah, it just like the cameras, like there's a house in between. So there's a camera and then there's a house that doesn't have a camera. And then the house, after it has a camera and it picks them up. Well, Ann Taylor's trying to say, well, you guys don't have a direct camera route the whole way there. But it's like, but if you look at the totality and you see how long it takes this vehicle that's traveling, 35 miles per hour to get from this, house to this house to be picked up again, what's the probability that it was his car and not another car that, peeked out of a driveway in between the two houses, like kind of like that. So, the next one that we'll go to is the chef store. So 820 Port Drive, and the camera time approximately 1 minute behind local time. 400 Bridge Street, Clarkston, and that's the Albertsons. Camera time's accurate to local time within 1 minute. 1300 Johnson Avenue, Pullman, Washington, ENS services. Camera time is approximately 1 minute and 30 seconds behind local time. And it says the following is intended as a summary of the collected surveillance footage and is not intended to be an all-encompassing report on the entirety of the collected video. And it says agent note, for a visual representation of the sightings listed below, maps have been provided as reference documents. For the Indian Hills addresses below, please refer to map 1. For the remainder of the addresses in Moscow, Idaho, please refer to map 2. Digital copies of map 1 and map 2 will be attached to the 1A section of the case file. I think it's like the last page. Like the last 2 pages. Oops. So this is map. I have it like really zoomed. There we go. And they said to use the other 2 for the, okay. So we'll read some more. Okay, so sightings in the Moscow, Idaho / Pullman, Washington area. So at 3:26:10 a.m. on November 13th, 2022, at 787 Indian Hills Drive, Moscow, Idaho, a vehicle matching the description of Vehicle 1 is seen driving westbound on Indian Hills Drive. At 3:26:35, same date, 763 Indian Hills Drive, Moscow, Idaho, the headlights of a vehicle are seen traveling westbound on Indian Hills Drive. 3:26:43, 755 Indian Hills Drive, Moscow, Idaho, a vehicle matching the description of Vehicle 1 is seen traveling westbound on Indian Hills Drive. 3:28:56 a.m., and that's at 1311 South Main Street, Idaho, or Moscow, Idaho, Channel 7. It must be the Channel 7 news, like their news thing or something, their news camera. It says a vehicle matching the description of Vehicle 1 is seen traveling westbound on Steiner Avenue, crossing Main Street and continuing westbound onto Lauder Avenue. So we're not even going a minute later, but we're seconds. Like 3:29:02, 1125 Ridge Road, apartment 108, Moscow, camera 2. A vehicle matching the description of Vehicle 1 is seen traveling westbound on Lauder Avenue through the intersection of Lauder Avenue and Ridge Road. So the back way to go to the house. 3:29:04. I just read that, the Ridge Road. And then a vehicle matching the description of Vehicle 1 continues on Lauder Avenue as the road curves to the north towards Taylor Avenue. And then the dumpster area at Linda Lane, the one where you're going into the cul-de-sac and there's that dumpster at the back of it. A vehicle matching the description of Vehicle 1 is seen traveling westbound on Taylor Avenue past Linda Lane. For some reason, I thought that video was like debunked and not to be his car. But I guess I'm gonna have to go back and watch that, because I think I only watched it once. But I thought it was like, do you guys remember that? Like, not like, because there was like 2 Linda Lane videos that came out at like the same time. There was the one from the little apartment or whatever that was, and then there was one by the dumpster. And I thought the one by the dumpster was like a BMW or something. But I guess not. Guess not. That's why I'm glad we're, going over this. So let's see. The next one is at 3:30:22, and that's the 1112 King Road. A vehicle matching the description of Vehicle 1 is seen traveling southbound on King Road and turning east on Queen Road. 3:30:55, that's at 1330 Linda Lane. A vehicle matching the description of Vehicle 1 travels east along the north side of 500 Queen Road. The vehicle turns south along the east side of the building, then turns west along the south side of the building. The vehicle matches the description of Vehicle 1, exits the frame traveling west in the direction of 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho, hereafter referred to as the victim's residence. Same date, 3 in the morning, 3:31:18. So headlights briefly shine on upper exterior of 1127 King Road, indicating a vehicle turning north towards Queen Road from the southern parking area of 500 Queen Road. Okay, so where's that? 1127. Is that the one across the street, I wonder? Nope, it's the one back in the corner. So, this is where their house used to be, right over here. That's the parking lot. That's the blue house that had the or the 1112 King Road that had the exterior camera. And then they're saying that this house over here has another camera that caught the headlights of the car. Okay. So then a vehicle matching the description of Vehicle 1 travels westbound on Queen Road, turning north into King Road. Headlights can be seen shining on trees to the west of the intersection of King Road and Taylor Avenue, indicating the vehicle turned west onto Taylor Avenue. 33336, 1112 King Road. Again, headlights are seen southbound on Walenta Drive behind 1119 King Road Drive. 33513, 451 Paradise Drive, Moscow. A vehicle matching the description of Vehicle 1 travels south on Ridge Road, turning westbound onto Paradise Drive. So that was at 33513. So then at 33514, 1 second later, the vehicle matching the description of Vehicle 1 continues westbound on Paradise Drive. So it's the same address, 451. So maybe they have two cameras that picked it up, because they're seconds apart too. So 33812, that's the 1112 King Road again. Headlights are seen northbound on Walenta Drive behind 119 King Road. At 33834, at 1112 King Road. Man, they got that 1112 camera. It did its job that night, apparently. A vehicle matching the description of Vehicle 1 is seen southbound on King Road, turning east on Queen Road. And I'll tell y'all, that camera was like under $20, I think. I'm telling you, it's a good little camera. And I just remembered I can still, like, I could use it. I thought about giving it. I should give it away in a giveaway, but it comes with like something that you can twist it into, and you can actually put it in an outlet instead of using it for the light bulb. Because what you're supposed to do is take out a light bulb and then put that camera in, and then it records. And we tested it, and it was a good little camera. Like, I mean, it saw like Vincent's car, and I was back in this back parking lot, and I was trying to get you guys to like see if you knew what kind of car it was, and you guys didn't get it. But I kind of cheated because you guys knew one of his cars, but that wasn't the car. So it was kind of like funny in a way. But we did like experiments with it. It's a good camera for, under $20. You can't beat that. So 33907, 1330 Linda Lane again. A vehicle matching the description of Vehicle 1 travels east on Queen Road along the north side of 500 Queen Road. 500 Queen is those apartments right beside the yellow apartments, right beside the King Road residence. The vehicle turns south along the east side of the building, then turns west along the south side of the building. The vehicle matching the description of Vehicle 1 exits the frame, traveling west in the direction of the victim's residence. At 33935, 1112 King Road, headlights briefly shine on upper exterior of 1127 King Road, indicating a vehicle turning north towards Queen Road from the southern parking area of 500 Queen Road. At 34024, 1112 King Road, a vehicle matching the description of Vehicle 1 is seen traveling west on Queen Road, traveling north onto King Road. Headlights can be seen shining on trees to the west of the intersection of King Road and Taylor Avenue, indicating the vehicle turned west into Taylor Avenue. 34101, same address. Headlights are seen traveling south on Walenta Drive behind 1119 King Road. Then we go back 443, or we're up to 44346, and it's 451 Paradise Drive. It's the same cameras picking them up, because he's literally just like, doing circles at this point. So vehicle headlights turn east into Paradise Drive from Ridge Road. A reflection of the headlights indicates the vehicle may have made an immediate U-turn back onto Ridge Road northbound. Yeah. Then we go back to 34507, and it's 1112 King Road again. Headlights are seen traveling north on Walenta Drive behind 1119 King Road. And then again at 34708, he's clocked in the same exact camera. 34847, 451 Paradise Drive. A vehicle matching the description of Vehicle 1 turns east onto Paradise Drive from Ridge Road. A reflection of headlights indicate the vehicle may have made an immediate U-turn back onto Ridge Road northbound. At 35027, 1112 King Road. Headlights are seen traveling north on Walenta Drive behind 1119 King Road. 351, same thing. 35242, same thing. 35336, same thing. 35624. This is the same camera, but it says a vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 travels south on King Road and turns east onto Queen Road. And then 35657, 1330 Linda Lane. A vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 travels east along the north side of 500 Queen Road. The vehicle turns south along the east side of the building, then turns west along the south side of the building. The vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 exits the frame traveling west in the direction of the victim's residence. 35727. Back to the King Road, the blue house. Headlights briefly shine on the upper exterior of 1127 King Road, indicating a vehicle turning north towards Queen Road. The headlights disappear approximately 5 seconds later. 35823. At 1112 King Road, a vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 travels west on Queen Road and turns north onto King Road. Headlights can be seen shining on the trees to the west of the intersection of King Road and Taylor Avenue, indicating the vehicle turned west onto Taylor Avenue. And then same camera, and they're all picking them up coming from that south on Walenta Drive behind the 1119 King Road. That's at 35904 at 4 o'clock and 14 seconds, 401:30. And that's the 401:30 is at 1125 Ridge Road, apartment 108. A vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 travels south then east on Lauder Avenue. I can't wait for trial to see this little vehicle just going around. Just driving around, didn't even have to turn your cell phone on apparently. I mean, nobody's getting away with anything anymore. It's a wrap. So 401:43, 1125 Ridge Road, apartment 108. Again, a vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 turns from eastbound Lauder Avenue onto southbound Ridge Road at 404:20. So a few minutes go by. He's back to the King Road. Headlights are seen traveling north on Walenta Drive behind the 1119 King Road. The same camera picks him up at 404:56, and it says a vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 travels south on King Road and turns east onto Queen Road. At 405, 1330 Linda Lane, a vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 pulls partially into the east side parking lot of the 500 Queen Road apartment buildings from north side of the buildings moving east. The vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 then completes a 3-point turn and returns westbound along the north side of the apartment building. At 40609 at the 1112 King Road, headlights are visible in a window reflection as well as on the exterior of 1119 King Road, indicating the vehicle is facing west on Queen Road. The lights appear to move slowly, indicating the vehicle is descending the hill while passing by the front of the victim's residence. 406:31, same camera. A vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 travels west on Queen Road, performs a U-turn at the intersection with King Road, then travels east on Queen Road. At 407, 1330 Linda Lane, a vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 travels east along the north side of 500 Queen Road. The vehicle turns south along the east side of the building, then turns west along the south side of the building. The vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 exits the frame traveling west in the direction of the victim's residence. At 407:47, 1112 King Road, headlights of a vehicle turning north onto Queen Road briefly shine on exterior of 1127 King Road. There is no subsequent vehicle activity captured for approximately 13 minutes after these headlights are seen. So that cuts that window down, like in and out. It doesn't take much. I mean, if you have a knife to unalive someone, I'm sure. But I mean, the minutes are going out. So approximately 13 minutes. Then at 4:20:47, so literally he was at 4:07:47. He leaves at 4, or last seen, I'm sorry, and then is seen again at 4:20:47. A vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 travels westbound on Queen Road at a high rate of speed, turning north onto King Road. Headlights can be seen shining on trees to the west of the intersection of King Road and Taylor Avenue, indicating the vehicle turned west onto Taylor Avenue. At 4:21:05, headlight from the 1112 King Roadhouse, headlights are seen traveling south on Walletta Drive behind 1119 King Road. He's peacing out. 1300 Johnson Avenue, Pullman, Washington. A vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 is seen traveling northbound on Johnson Avenue. And then surveillance review here, and it says agent notes. Due to the speed of the vehicle and its distance from the camera, the vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 is difficult to identify. However, this vehicle is seen driving northbound on Bishop Boulevard, followed shortly after by a semi-truck. Moments later, the white sedan is seen on the following cameras, still followed by the semi-truck. What if that semi-truck has like a camera, like a front end camera back? You know what I mean? You never know. I wonder. Because they sleep, a lot of people sleep in their semis, you know what I mean? I would have a camera. Let's see. The camera at 1330 Johnson Avenue shows 2 separate roads, Johnson Avenue and Bishop Boulevard. Johnson Avenue is in the foreground and Bishop Boulevard is in the background. In the surveillance, the vehicle matching vehicle 1 is seen on Johnson Avenue, while the semi-truck traveling behind the vehicle is on Bishop Boulevard. Agent note, actual time with the timestamp offset is approximately 5:25:29. At 5:25:30, 1455 Southeast Bishop Boulevard, Pullman, Washington, a vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 is seen turning from northbound Johnson Avenue onto northbound Bishop Boulevard and continues northbound. Agent note, this time is approximate, determined by time comparison with other cameras at the same business due to frame glitches in the surveillance footage. Okay. So it's a time approximate because apparently their footage is messed up and they couldn't figure it out. The time difference, that's weird. But 5:26:22, 1455 Southeast Bishop Boulevard, vehicle matching the description is traveling northbound from Bishop Boulevard towards East Main Street. And then at 5:26:47, 1455, same camera. Vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 turns into northbound East Main Street, Highway 270. At 5:28:31 a.m., Northeast Stadium Way to Southeast Nevada Way, I believe it is. Nevada Street, sorry. Pullman, Washington. A vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 is seen turning onto Northeast Stadium Way from East Main Street, Highway 270. Vehicle 1 continues northeast through the intersection. At 5:28:44, you know what? I'm surprised he didn't get pulled over on his way back. Tell you the truth. I mean, because this is a bad time to be out, right? I mean, that's like, I'm from a small town and I just remember if you were out after 12, you were getting pulled over. You were getting pulled over by the cops. The cops were pulling you over to ask you why you were out. Just what you doing? Just hanging? You know, I mean, literally, like, I know that's entrapment. It has to be. Oh, thank you, Margot, for gifting out 5 memberships. Welcome in, everybody. And welcome in, Margot. Liquid courage. Yeah. Maybe. But welcome in, everybody. Hey, Frenchie. Hey, Squeaky. I don't know if I said hey to you earlier. But I don't think it was I think it was Kohlberger. I don't think this was like a multiple person job. I think that if it was, there'd be a lot more evidence left behind, you know? I think that the person that did this thought about it, knew exactly what to do and what not to have, like what to bring. I mean, he said it himself in his final. You bring in a part of yourself to each crime scene. So he needed to cover him, like he said, like cover himself from head to toe pretty much to not track in as much stuff. And he knew exactly what outfits to kind of wear, stuff that wouldn't cling, things wouldn't cling to it. Yeah, that final paper was, I mean, that was crazy to read yesterday. I forgot about it. I like, because it's been almost like, well, almost 3 years, 2.5 years, and we went through so much stuff. So the next time that they pick him up, so they picked him up at 5:29:33 in Pullman, and then at 5:29:41 in Pullman again. Same, or no, I'm sorry, it's not the same camera. It's Northeast Stadium Way at Wilson Road. A vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 continues north on Northeast Stadium Way through the intersection. 5:30:18 Northeast Stadium Way at Cougar Way. A vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 is northbound on Northeast Stadium Way, then turns eastbound onto Northeast Orchard Drive. Not okay, so then that's it, it looks like. So at 5:30:18, that's the last time they have him on camera. And let's see what 13. Oh, wait, I'm putting in the wrong address, sorry. So the last time they got him, it was on this here. There's like I guess this is a roundabout, it looks like, and there's a camera in the middle of it or somewhere on this building. But um, let's see if I go to my maps. If I put in his address with it. It pulled up his address. Is it 1630? How do you change? Okay, so it's a 3-minute drive. Trying to okay. So they got him on North or Stadium Way, and I'm trying to see where the intersection was. It was actually back here. So they got him back here somewhere, and then 3-minute drive home. No more cameras. It's kind of surprising, but I guess not. I'm surprised, like these little. I mean, I guess his apartment probably wouldn't have them though. They're probably, like facing the opposite. Hey, pancakes, welcome in. Yes, Virgie. No one's speaking nice on him. Yeah. Um, they just not. Okay. So then we're down here. So then we're going to go to the sightings in Clarkston, Washington. He went to it says entry roll up. What's that mean? Costco. Entry roll up. Let's see what it says. An individual matching the description of Coburger enters the main entrance to Costco. The individual appears to approach the front door from the northeast portion of the parking lot. Well, what else? That's the same thing it says down here. This is the same. So this is, okay, Gas Hut. A vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 is seen traveling westbound through the Costco parking lot. This is probably their gas station that picked this up. And this was at 12:37 and 12:38. The Gas Hut again it says a vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 merges onto 5th Street northbound and immediately turns onto Port Drive towards Walmart. He didn't go to Walmart though. He went to old Albertsons. So 12:42, 820 Port Drive, Clarkston, Washington, a vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1, that's the Kate's Cup of Joe, picks him up. November 13th at 12:42 at 820 Port Drive, same address, vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1, performs a U-turn into the U.S. Chef store parking lot and slowly moves south through the lot. I think he's looking for the Albertsons. And then same camera, a vehicle, matching the description, continues south through the Chef store parking lot until it leaves the frame. Vehicle 1 appears to turn east onto Port Drive as it drives away. 1246, 400 Bridge Street, Clarkston, Washington, parking lot west. A vehicle matching description is seen traveling east through Albertson's parking lot, eventually parking in the upper left corner of the screen behind a pickup truck. Now, I don't think that they have Albertsons in Pennsylvania. So, I mean, for him to go to the freaking Costco and not be able to get in because he knows he doesn't have a membership, or maybe it just expired. But then to know like Albertsons, I wonder if he Googled something and like, you know what I mean? Like Googled cleaning supplies near me. You never know. You never know. They usually Google something. Even when they're smart, they'll still Google. So then we're at 400 Bridge Street again. And it's an individual matching the description of Koberger walks from the area where the above-mentioned vehicle parked towards the east entrance of Albertsons. Oh, I forgot to read the one above it. Sorry. A vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 is seen traveling east through the Albertsons parking lot, eventually parking in the upper left corner of the screen behind a pickup truck. Then they see him getting out. And then they have an individual matching the description of Koberger is seen entering Albertsons via the east entrance / exit. And if you don't know what an Albertsons is, it's just like a grocery store, basically. If you have like a Kroger, it's kind of like a Kroger. I did a video inside of an Albertsons. It's under my Idaho playlist. If you don't know what an Albertsons is and you want to like go through it with us, me and Vincent went and we did a video when we were in California. I'm like, oh, an Albertsons, let's go in there really quick. So we did. We're those people. So an individual matching the description of Koberger is seen checking out at the self-checkout. Now, I wonder if they have cameras at that self-checkout and how good they are. Because I know there are some, like Kroger is crazy. Like you have to scan the item and then put it in your bag. And I bring bags with me, so it's even worse when you have your own bag because then it reads the bag. Yeah, it's a mess. Vincent said when he was there the other day, he had 2 drinks in his hand and he scanned the wrong one. Like instead of scanning this one first, he scanned this one, but had this one in his hand to scan next because he's used to like just Target and not having to do all that crazy stuff. And it yelled at him and like someone had to come over, I guess, and help had to like do something with the computer. But he was like, I was going to scan it. It was just the way he, I guess, scanned them. The checkouts are getting crazy nowadays. So I wonder if we'll ever find out, exactly what it is like that he bought. I'm curious. I don't care if it's a cup of coffee. I don't care if it's some cereal. I want to know everything. So 12:58:01, the same camera, an individual matching the description of Koberger is seen exiting the Albertsons via the east door. So he wasn't there very long. 12:58. So he's entering at 12:49. At 12:56, so like 7 minutes later, he's checking out. 7 minutes is a pretty long time, though. So even if you didn't know where something was in the store, I mean, that could be 7 minutes to grab it, go to the front, and then leave by 12:58. And then in the parking lot, he's seen again. It says it returns to the parking area where the vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 previously parked. And then at 1:04:16, same camera, a vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 drives south towards the parking lot exit to Bridge Street. So he kind of chills out in his car for like 6 minutes. Wonder what he's doing. Like, what are you doing are you cleaning something already? Like, is your OCD getting to you? Because I mean, we've seen his car and when he got pulled over by the lady cop, And his dashboard was very clean. Like, I'm sorry, but most people have like a little bit of dust on their dashboard. It's usually not sparkling like his was. His looked like he just like got done cleaning it. So I think he does have a little bit of the OCD. Not to the point where you're going to be putting your trash in baggies or anything though. So I wonder if he bought something because he like did get something somewhere, you know? I don't know. Through the course of this video review, clips showing vehicle matching the description of Vehicle 1, which were seen on the WSU surveillance cameras located along Stadium Way in Pullman, Washington, were collected from the live camera system by S.A. Hilly. These clips were turned over to the Moscow Police Department for storage. There's another agent note. Surveillance review on the WSU camera system was conducted using a live view system. Due to the functionality of the system, only small clips were able to be extracted and maintained. S.A. Hilly reviewed the WSU cameras between approximately 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. on November 13, 2022, and collected clips which showed vehicles matching the description of Vehicle 1. These sightings are noted above. No other sightings of vehicles matching this description were observed. Man, you got one of them cars that are like, I mean, pretty, like, there's a lot of them. You know what I mean? They're nothing special. And you couldn't find, there couldn't be another one on the road like yours. Not another white car. Everybody was driving trucks that night. Big red trucks. And then these are just the maps. So the state's exhibit, state 3 is going to be this. The state exhibit, I think this is going to be 2, probably maybe 1, 2 and then 1. I don't know. And then we got the report of examination, unclassified. Unknown subject, Moscow Police Department assistants, Ethan Chapin, victim. Madison Mogen, victim. Xana Kernodle, victim. Kaylee Goncalves, victim. Date items received, November 19th, November 21st, November 23rd, December 7th, and December 20th, all 2022. Items submitted, this report will only cover the following items. So it has these numbers here to identify them. And one is 7 MP4 video files, balcony video depicting questioned vehicle. And I'm assuming the balcony video is going to be the light camera video. 5 MP4 videos and 2 WMV videos depicting questioned vehicle received electronically on 11/19/2022. 1 AV video file depicting questioned vehicle received electronically on 12/7/2022. Multiple images and video depicting questioned vehicle received electronically on 11/23/22. 3 AV videos and 2 Word documents depicting questioned vehicle received electronically on 12/20/2022. And it says a summary. The forensic audio, video, and image analysis program was requested to determine the make, model, and year of the questioned vehicle depicted in the submitted media. The submitted videos and images were electronically processed to identify the questioned vehicle's make, model, and year. 7 vehicle make, model charts were produced. See the opinions section for the results of the examinations. Details of examination. The date of this examination were November 19th through March 21st, so 2022 to 2023. The submitted videos and images were electronically processed, from which 7 make model charts were produced. The make model charts were recorded to a DVD-R and labeled examination results copy HQQ031720. 6 copies of the HQQ were produced and 6 copies of the charts were printed. Reference media was recorded to a DVD-R and will be retained in the case file. The multiple submissions of media were reviewed independently and collectively to identify the questioned vehicle's make, model, and year. Okay. Opinions. The submitted videos on November 19th and November 21st, 2022 were reviewed to determine the questioned vehicle's make, model, and year. Due to insufficient image detail and obscured views produced by the blooming of the vehicle's headlights, the make, model, and year could not be determined. The submitted videos on November 23rd, 2022 were reviewed to determine the questioned vehicle's make, model, and year. The questioned vehicle shares similar class characteristics with a 5th-generation Hyundai Elantra between 2011 to 2013. The similar class characteristics include, but are not limited to, the overall body shape, window configuration, side trim, headlight shape, front grille configuration, and rear license plate position. On November 26, 2022, after reviewing expanded known information to include the rear bumper reflector and the shape of the front fog lights on the Hyundai Elantra, the questioned vehicle year was expanded to the 5th generation between 2011 and 2016. The submitted video received on December 7th, 2022 was reviewed to determine the questioned vehicle make, model, and year. Due to insufficient image detail, the vehicle's make, model, and year cannot be determined. The submitted videos and images on December 20th, 2022 were reviewed to determine the question's make, model, and year. The questioned vehicle shares similar class characteristics with a 5th generation Hyundai Elantra between 2014 and 2016. Okay, hold on. So whatever video was that they submitted on December 7th wasn't good enough. But whatever video they ended up submitting in the images on December 20th, they knew exactly what vehicle it was. I wonder what those two videos were and or pictures. I'm really curious. So it says that it does, have similar characteristics with the 5th generation Hyundai Elantra between 2014, 2016. The similar class characteristics include, but are not limited to, the overall body style, window configuration, front grille configuration, headlight shape, side trim, rear brake light configuration, rear license plate position, and rear bumper reflector position. The position of the rear bumper reflector and the shape of the fog lights assist in narrowing the vehicle year span. All those cars look the same. I mean, most of them do. They changed up something so simple normally, you know what I mean? Or they go hard and they change up the whole dang car. But it says that the evidence copies that they made here were DVD examination results, copying containing vehicle make model charts. They made 7 make model charts, 6 copies, 6 DVDs containing vehicle make model charts, 1 DVD containing reference media. And then it says deposition of items, examination results, and then just says copy of the HQQ 031720. 6 copies of the same thing, and 6 copies of 7 vehicle make model charts were forwarded to the Lewiston Resident Agency on March 8th, 2023 via FedEx. A DVD container referencing media was retained in the case file. Why did they forward it to the Lewiston Resident Agency? I don't know what that is, but maybe you guys will know. I could probably make this go the right way. Maybe. Here we go. So this is, okay. Look at me down here. I'm trying to look like this is the car. Okay. I can see it. I can see the arriving. The departing, I don't, not so much. But, I've got one eye over here, so. And then that's okay. So yeah. Wow. That was a lot of reading. Hey Donna, welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. Hey Godlight TG. I can't wait for trial. I think that's going to be a really, really good trial. Yeah. I was going to go through this with you. I'm going to refresh the page. It keeps saying you're seeing this message because you have a script or an ad blocker. I'm like, yeah, I have an ad blocker. I don't. People need to see what I'm looking at. Actually, I don't really look at anything on here, so wouldn't be much to look at anyway. So I was going to read through this article with you guys. It just kind of sums up what's been going on with the latest filing that just came out the other day. We went over it on our live the day it came out. I think it was the day before yesterday. But they are trying, again, the defense is saying too much evidence. Well, the judge said, well, Anne, you picked up a second case. So why'd you do that if you couldn't handle this one? Why didn't you ask me if you could hire in some interns, or we could hire in, the state could hire some interns in for you? I know you think that you have to read everything, but they bring you the most important documents, like the stuff that's important for you to see, and that's what you focus on. She didn't like that. very much, I don't think. I was watching court proceeding today when he was really talking to her about it in the last court proceeding. So I the judge, but a judge has issued damning response to Brian Kohlberger's latest bid to dodge the firing squad if he is convicted of the brutal stabbing murders of 4 University of Idaho students. So he is due to go on trial this August. He is charged with the murders of Xana Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, Kaylee Goncalves, and Madison Mogen in a crime that shocked the nation. Still continues to shock the nation. The 4 students were all slaughtered in a horrific knife attack in the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022, inside an off-campus student home in Moscow, Idaho. The 30-year-old criminology PhD student who was living just over the state border while studying at Washington State University is facing the death penalty if convicted. And as of right now, they put a stop to any executions. So in the Idaho for just until they can get the media set up and the new firing squad chambers. That's, priorities, right? So, but that's why they're not doing them right now. It says with this high profile trial looming, Kohlberger's defense has made a string of moves to try to get capital punishment taken off the table. Now, in a new court order this week, Judge Stephen Hippler struck down his latest attempt and blasted Kohlberger's complaints that the prosecution failed to hand over evidence in a timely and accessible manner as hollow. Defendant complaints of being unable to meaningfully review the discovery ring hollow, the judge wrote. Defendant has been receiving discovery in the same manner for over 2 years. Dismissing the idea that there had been any misconduct by prosecutors, the judge pointed out that Kohlberger had asked for everything, and everything is what he received. Defendant cannot demand everything under the sun and then complain about the weight of all the planets, he scolded the defense. The damning ruling marks the latest blow to Kohlberger's defense strategy, coming after the judge last week denied a separate request to strike the death penalty due to his recent autism diagnosis. The defense claimed his demeanor due to his diagnosis would place him at a greater risk of being sentenced to death, arguing that every move Kohlberger makes is scrutinized and claiming he has been presented in the media as evil and soulless. I don't know, maybe Nancy. But I think most people, for the most part, not everybody, but they try to stay unbiased, I feel like. Now, you got like Banfield. She's not, you could tell where her head is. Nancy, you could kind of tell where her head is. But just like you have defense attorneys, that will take up for a defendant, a lot of times. So this week's ruling now marks the 13th time that the judge has dismissed Kohlberger's efforts to stop a jury from potentially sending him to death row. He should have thought about that before this all happened, allegedly. Allegedly. I missed my spot. The state pushed back, arguing that the presidents previously set to strike the death penalty are for intellectual disabilities, which autism is not. Judge Hippler ruled that Kohlberger's diagnosis can be used as a mitigating factor at his sentencing, but does not mean the death penalty should be removed from the case. This week's ruling now marks the 13th time the judge has dismissed Kohlberger's efforts to stop a jury from potentially sending him to death row. In the defense's latest move, Kohlberger had accused the state of lengthy delays in handing over evidence in the case. The legal team also argued that when it had received the discovery, it found it to be voluminous and unorganized, leaving them unable to prepare properly for trial. As a result, the defense claimed Kohlberger's rights had been violated and asked the judge to strike the death penalty and impose organizational requirements on the state to help with the review of evidence. Well, Ann Taylor, you don't have to look at every piece of videotape, okay? Like, they're telling you that this stuff over here, we're not using this at trial. It's not, there's no exculpatory information in here, evidence in here, but she insists on watching every single thing, but she hasn't started yet. It's like, what have you been doing for 2.5 years? If that was us, we would have watched it all by now. We would have, I don't care how many gigabytes, whatever it is, we would have watched it. Terabytes, we would have. And everyone, yeah, people be respectful in the chat for sure. For sure. Because I'm not able to watch the chat that well tonight. So be good, guys. Yeah, I think that she wants organizational requirements. Well, can the state have your defense? And with in a Rolodex form? If we're giving each other our case files, I mean, that only makes sense. Give us what you got, we'll give us what we got, one of those deals. So it says prosecutors pushed back on the allegations, arguing the state had complied, with all discovery obligations. The judge sided with the state and pointed out that Koberger's team has had more than 2 years to prepare for trial since his arrest back on December 30th, 2022, just 6 weeks on from the murders. While defendant is currently incarcerated, he has a robust defense team and has not faced time constraints given his speedy trial waiver with this case well over 2 years old, the judge wrote. Defendant has had nearly as much time as the state to review discovery. This is not a situation where the state has had the benefit of years-long investigation compared to a defendant who has had mere months to review the investigative material. Judge Hippler also appeared to scold the defense team, pointing out that lead attorney Ann Taylor had chosen to take on another capital murder trial while claiming her team does not have the capacity to effectively prepare for Koberger's. Her words, not ours. In the more than 2 years since his arrest, Koberger has not once sought remedy from this court to regulate discovery, such as requiring the state to provide discovery in a different format, the judge wrote. He has not sought additional resources to hire additional staff to review discovery or obtain litigation document control software to help organize and sort the evidence. His lead counsel insisted that she be allowed to take on second high-profile capital case despite the voluminous discovery in this case. Bet he ain't doing this anymore, Bet he is not. Bet he's not. Ooh. Taylor, he added, has indicated that her practice is to personally review all the discovery herself. These actions are not indicative of an overburdened defense team, the judge wrote. In fact, it is evident defendant has been able to capably navigate the discovery given his more than robust motion practice, the scope and the breadth of the experts retained and the disclosures filed. The family of the Goncalveses appeared to celebrate the judge's ruling Wednesday, writing on their Facebook page, "Thank you, Judge Hippler. Without you, I feel like we would still be years away from trial." Goncalves' father, Steve Goncalves, has previously made it clear the family welcomes the death penalty in the case and the possibility of the use of firing squad. Firing squad became an alternative method of execution in Idaho last year amid a shortage of lethal injection drugs, but is not the primary execution method, and so no inmate has been put to death since it was introduced. Republican state lawmaker Bruce Skaggs has since put forward a bill to change that, and Steve Goncalves said earlier this year he is personally pushing to help get it over the line. "I'll be that person to stand in front of the camera and drum up some support," he told News Nation in February. He added, "There's no reason to have a capital punishment if this isn't the case for it." That's true. I mean, both during the hearing and in the weeks since, the judge has made several rulings which have shaped what jurors will see and hear at the trial. The orders have overall been blows to Koberger's defense, ruling that jurors will hear the harrowing 911 call made by the victim's surviving roommates and see their panic text after one of them saw the mass killer inside their home. Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk were also inside the home at 1122 King Road at the time of the murder but escaped unscathed. Mortensen saw a man in a mask and wearing all black walk past her bedroom door on the second floor at around 4 a.m., court documents show. Following a series of frantic messages and calls to Funk and the other roommates, none of whom responded, she ran down to Funk's bedroom on the first floor. Kernodle and Chapin were dead in Kernodle's room on the second floor, while Goncalves and Mogen were dead in Mogen's bed on the third floor. Just before midday, the two survivors and their friends discovered the bloodbath and called 911. As the sole survivor who came face-to-face with the mass killer inside the home, Mortensen's testimony is expected to be crucial at trial. as well as the 911 call and text messages. The judge has also ruled against Koberger in allowing Mortensen to describe the man inside her home using the term bushy eyebrows. Prosecutors plan to show jurors a chilling selfie of Koberger giving a thumbs up to the camera just 6 hours on from the murders as evidence of his eyebrows. In another ruling, the judge also ruled the jurors will be able to see Koberger's Amazon shopping history. Prosecutors say his shopping history reveals he bought a K-bar knife, sheath, and sharpener from Amazon back in March 2022. And to me, that says he planned on keeping that K-bar knife. If he bought a knife sharpener for it, he definitely planned on keeping it. So I don't know where it's at. I don't know if he ended up just like deciding not to keep it because he bought this, back in March and, the killings weren't until November. But I mean, because when you buy a knife, it's sharp, right? You don't need to sharpen it when you first get it. You would think he bought the sharpener for after the first time he used it, in my opinion. But a K-bar leather knife sheath was left behind by the killers next to Mogen's lifeless body. DNA on the sheath came back to a match to Koberger. The murder weapon itself has never been found. Koberger was arrested around 6 weeks from the slayings at his family's home in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, and charged with 4 murders. As well as the DNA evidence and eyewitness testimony, prosecutors say Koberger's white Hyundai Elantra also matches the car seen leaving the crime scene at the time of the murders, and that his cell phone records indicate he may have stalked the King Road home at least a dozen times in the lead up to the murders. Koberger is next due in court in mid-May for pretrial hearing. His DNA was on the sheath. Yeah, it was. It was his DNA on the sheath. I'm extremely happy with what they have. But make sure I didn't watch the chat tonight. Make sure people aren't putting misinformation up in here because I hate that when that happens. I'm about to go to jail. My son keeps poking my eye. I won't go sleep. He likes to poke your eyes. Be like, hey, hello, I need these. Do you want me to? He's too young, or I would trick him. I'd send you like a video of like me poking my eye or something. I'd be like, see what happens? He's too little though. I would scar him. But he would never touch your eye again, I bet. And I like that we're getting more information. A month ago, 2 months ago, we didn't know anything about the 911 call. We just knew that it was made at 11:58 in the morning. That's all. And we knew that it was made on one of the surviving roommates' phone. But that's really all we knew. We all were under the assumption that Hunter Johnson went up to Xana's door and it was shut. And he had to try to push the door open. And then he peeked around and that's when he saw everything. And then they ran out. That's how we were getting information. But, I'm trying to read the chat. But they do have, I think that they have plenty of evidence. The dude was going for, crime scene. He went for criminal justice. He had already graduated with that degree. We went over, what was it? A few nights ago, we went over the first half of the timeline and all the stuff and all of the evidence that they said that they had so far. And yeah, I'm happy with what they have. I'm trying to go back up, see if I can find that, or it might be, okay. There might be more because it might be at the bottom. So evidence so far, tan leather knife sheath with K-bar and USMC on it with single source male DNA. It was found next to victim Maddie Mogen's body and subsequently linked to Bryce Koberger through a tip by the FBI who had tested the DNA themselves and relayed the information back to law enforcement. This IgG data, which we're going to go over that in one of our next upcoming lives, was subject to a Franks hearing, but the courts ruled the evidence admissible and upheld law enforcement's probable cause. This evidence, along with DNA evidence collected from the Koberger's residence and video camera evidence of the suspect's car in and around the time of the murders, was the basis ultimately for Brian Koberger's arrest. More evidence, such as the survivor's testimony, cell phone data from the suspect's suspect's phone, and other items and objects obtained during warrant searches, like, the Dickies tag and all that. The state is also relying on video surveillance and cell phone tower evidence to place the defendant in or around the murder scene. The suspect is presumed innocent until the courts decide his guilt. That's the truth. That's the truth there. I made this, but let's see where we're at. We go through this. And I've read every document. I have read every document in this case. It's a lot of documents. Pause. ZZ Top says it performs with a very bizarre instrument. Wonder what the instrument is. Let's go look. Oh, I don't want to play the video, but oh, look at that. Did you guys listen to ZZ Top? My dad did. I just saw the article, so I thought I would show it to you guys. I did make this thing. I can go read through it. I was meant to read through this in the beginning, but I didn't. But I didn't because I forgot. Silly me. But yeah, I'll read through this and it'll kind of like help. You love ZZ Top? Yeah, so I guess when I was a baby, my dad's friend had a beard like ZZ Top. And I remember him telling me that story when I was little. He likes ZZ Top. I'm a big fan of like those kind of like the electronic instruments or whatever they're called. I guess they're called electronic instruments. Like I don't know. I really like the harmonica and the guitar. I really like the harmonica. So, what was the FBI's role in the Idaho 4 murders? So, the Idaho 4 case involving the November 13th, 2022 murders of 4 University of Idaho students, Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogen, and Kaylee Goncalves. The FBI played a significant supporting role in the investigation led by the Moscow Police Department. With assistance from the Idaho State Police, tonight we will go over a summary of the FBI's actions based on available information. And we already kind of went over the summary of their actions. So, the personnel and resource support, the FBI deployed over 40 agents across the United States to assist with the investigation, including 2 investigators from its behavioral analysis unit. I wonder what they were saying. Like, I want to know if they had, because they said they had 2 people from behavioral analysis unit. Like, what was their, what were they saying? Were they saying things that, pertain to like Brian Koberger that, were they saying that this was going to be, a 28-year-old or 28 to 30-year-old, student from a university nearby, like either, Idaho or Pullman? I mean, like how close were they to like his characteristics, I guess you would say. I've always been very interested in that. So by December 19th, 2022, this number increased to 60 personnel, both in Moscow, Idaho, and nationwide, providing expertise and logistical support to the local police. And I got the little guys there. I see Machachi. Look at that. Thank you, Machachi. Can't we all just get along? Love to all chill. Support T. Yeah. Yeah, everybody just be cool. Be cool. Be cool. Tip management. The FBI established a tip line and a digital submission portal, and then I put it in there for us, to collect public information. They processed thousands of tips, including over 9,025 emails, 4,575 phone calls. And I wonder how many of those phone calls were from nut jobs on the internet. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that they probably had a lot of people calling in. And 6,050 digital media submissions by late December 2022. An FBI call center was used to sort and prioritize these leads. Forensic and DNA analysis, the FBI utilized genetic genealogy to identify Brian Koberger as a suspect. A lot of people say stuff about the IgG. It was cool when we did it for the old other killer, the Golden State Bridge killer. Like, we were all cool with putting him behind bars with IgG, but not Brian Koberger. It's not his. DNA found on a knife sheath at the crime scene was run through consumer DNA databases, which are typically restricted for law enforcement use to build family trees that pointed to Kohberger. This controversial method was pivotal in narrowing down the suspect pool. Additionally, the FBI recovered a buccal swab DNA test and other items during a December 30th, 2022 search of Kohberger's parents' home in Pennsylvania, which helped confirm the DNA match. Because they had gotten the match from his dad and was like, well, why isn't any of this stuff tested positive for the son? Because we know the son's in the house. But then they saw him taking the trash next door. I mean, maybe he didn't want to get his trash cans dirty. That's why he's like, I'm just going to walk it all the way over next door. Just, hopefully they don't see me. Can you imagine if you got caught? What would you say? If you got caught, if you got caught going to your neighbor's trash to put your trash in the middle of the night over there. Like, what if the man of the house, right? Like, what if he was outside smoking a doobie or something, hiding it from his wife? And he's like outside, 1:30 in the morning and he's lighting one up. Here comes Kohberger putting his trash in the trash can. I mean, I would say, boo. I would stare him. I don't know what I would say. I'd probably say, "Can I help you?" I don't even know. I probably wouldn't say anything. I probably would hide. Even if it was my own house. I'd probably be, hiding, "What's he doing?" And then I would go look in the trash can. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Yeah. If I saw that he was heading towards the trash can or something, I might, hide and look. You say, "What the fuck are you doing?" You would, Frenchie. I'm not ballsy like that. I'd probably hide. Even if it was my own property. I'm running to get Vincent. Baby girl, I can see you saying that too. What are you doing? What are you doing in my trash? I don't know. I would be I'd probably hide and then go look in the trash and see what he threw away. I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I probably would ask him, what are you doing out here, buddy? Hey, Brian, you back from school? So, they were surveilling him. It says the FBI Philadelphia field office surveillance team tracked Kohberger for 4 days in Pennsylvania before his arrest on December 30th by the FBI SWAT team and Pennsylvania State Police at his parents' home in Monroe County. They observed him wearing surgical gloves and handling trash suspiciously, which was later tested for DNA evidence. During the Pennsylvania home search, the FBI seized items including 4 medical-style gloves, a silver flashlight, a white t-shirt, a Washington State Cougar sweatshirt, Nike shoes, socks, black shorts, black boxers, knives, a gun, black clothing, medical-style gloves, and masks. And we went through all of the list too. These items were relevant due to a surviving roommate's description of the suspect wearing black clothing and a mask. They literally collected every dark piece of clothing the guy owns. Most guys, I feel like they wear dark clothes, or you know what I mean? I don't know. Gray, black, red. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just Vincent. Me too, Triple L. I don't know what you're talking about. You said I love America so much. Me too. You get him, Ladybug. Oh, my dog's snoring. The FBI's. I must put her to sleep when I read because she was sleeping last night too. The FBI's behavioral science unit provided expertise to narrow down offender characteristics, aiding the investigation when no suspect was initially identified. This was particularly valuable given the complexity of the case with an unknown offender. Prosecutors noted that the FBI constructed a 3D model of the King Road house crime scene based on depictions, documentation, and measurements taken before the home's demolition. This model depicting the exterior layout was intended for demonstrative purposes to aid witnesses in their testimony at trial. So they are bringing in a 3D model of the home that you can take apart floor by floor, and they're going to be able to show that to the jury. The defense is able to use it as well as a reference, whatever they want to use it for. And I can't wait to see it. I'm excited about seeing that kind of stuff. I went to school for criminal justice myself, so I don't know. That stuff gets me. I don't know. It gets me excited. I like seeing those kind of things. I don't see, people dying, but I like to know about the court proceedings and stuff like that and the evidence. The FBI worked closely with the Moscow Police Department, the Idaho State Police, and prosecutors to develop probable cause for Koberger's arrest warrant. They ensured coordination without overstepping jurisdictional boundaries as the FBI lacked primary authority over the case. The FBI provided critical support through personnel tip and management, DNA analysis, surveillance, evidence collection, behavioral analysis, and crime scene reconstruction. Their efforts were instrumental in identifying and arresting Brian Kohlberger, though the case remains under a gag order limiting public details. And we're still under the gag order, but we're getting more information, you know. So, administrative defense, and welcome in everybody. It's good to see you guys all tonight. So jury selection starts July, like the end of July. I mean, it's gonna be a good summer, you know. We have all summer to do whatever we want to do, and then just come back here, you know, August 11th. No, I'm just kidding. Just come back here at night, and then August 11th. But yeah, it'll be yeah, it's gonna be a good trial. I can't wait for opening statements. That's when I love opening statements. I love them. I love because they kind of tell you what they're gonna like, what they're gonna do, um, or what they're gonna present, you know, like their evidence, like that they're gonna present. They kind of tell you what they're going to do, like in opening statements. So I do love opening statements. My mama taught me that, Felicia. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. I learned that, but man, my best friend Ashley, she didn't learn that. I was talking about her today. I hope she ain't listening. She'll call me and be like, "I was nice to people." Well, she wasn't though. She was mean. She was so mean. She used to scare me. I don't think he'll get an appeal. I think the judge has been really fair, especially Judge John Judge. I mean, I'm glad we had to move away from that. So Felicia, me too. But yeah, they'll also appeal. They'll appeal. They'll try to appeal, but they won't. I don't think they'll succeed. This dog back here is snoring. I can't even. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but she could put me to sleep. She's like a breed, like one of those like machines, like a that you had like put beside the bed, like a little noise machine. Between her snoring and Vincent's car, I could go to sleep right. I mean, just put me in the car with the dog. That would be fun, Walt. I do have some stuff coming up that, though, that I wanna do. I wanna do some giveaways with you guys, members giveaways and subscriber giveaways. I'm still wanting to put out more pre-recorded videos for you guys. Make sure you watch them. And then with it getting I don't know, I'm debating on whether to switch up the time that we do lives, to do them a little bit earlier or to keep the time. I'm not sure yet. I don't know what we're gonna do. But if I do switch up the time, I may do like a week of like where I have the time a different time each day just to see what kind of like flows. But if I do that, you know, just make it to whenever you guys can come. And then oh no, you work. See, I like doing it at 9:15. Well, so we were supposed to switch in the winter time back to 8:15 because we used to do our lives between like 7:15 and 8:15. But then I went up to 9:15 because of summer last year because it gets darker later and we are all up a little bit later, I feel like, during the summer. And then we just kept it. You like this time? Okay. I mean, I don't think a whole lot of people tell me to change it. I mean, but I didn't know if like another time would work out better. Oh, you will be, Pete. You will be around. You will be around. I don't care if it's getting warm. I'm just kidding. I'm the same way. But I'll be here at night. I go to the pool during the day. I live at the pool. When the sun comes out, the pool is filled. It's been cleaning for like ever now, it seems like, and it's never going to be warm. So it's always freezing in that pool. But I'm ready to go swim. I'm so ready. It's good exercise. It's a really good exercise. If you guys need to like build up your muscles a little bit, go to the pool. Kick your feet around a little. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for summer, and then we come back, we watch Brian Koberger. His trial, we're 2 hours behind. So I think they're going to start at 8:30 in the morning. So it'll be like 10:30 over here on the East Coast. So love that. Thank you, Mary Beth. I appreciate that. I try to make it different, even if it's the same topic. I try to make it, at least a little different. Let me see if I pull anything up. You never know. If I put his name in and something comes up, that would be funny. But nothing was coming up earlier. Nope. I got you all caught up with everything Brian Koberger. Oh, really? Administrative defense? I didn't know that. Your husband's a former cop. I majored in criminal justice. I think we are a bit beyond the average YouTube chatter. We look at the evidence and can't see how he can't be convicted. Yeah. Vincent made me proud the other day. He made me feel good. He said, he was asking me about direct examination and cross-examination, stuff like that. And so then I was telling him, and I was like, and there's redirect, and I went like above and beyond. And he was like, must have been looking it up. And he's like, I looked it up. You're right. And he's like, you know all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah. And so I think what I need to do is I need to start like explaining it more. I think sometimes I think people know, and I need to explain things more. So, but if you guys ever have any questions, let me know. I graduated a long time ago, but just like riding a bike, right? I thought about going back and taking a class or two just to keep my brain, functioning right, but we'll see. But thank you guys for being here tonight. I do appreciate it. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. I know I say this every night, but every night I feel like I get off this live and I get all this energy. I'm going to start doing lives on the second channel. I want to start doing them during the day or like afternoon, or maybe even like a little bit later, like maybe between like 5 and 7. I don't know. I thought we could just do like open panels. You guys can help me. I just need to do some things, and I'm usually better when I have someone to talk to and while I'm doing it. So I thought we could hang out and do some stuff together, some life vlogging and talking about whatever. I am going to tell my story about my car accident on that channel as well. So I'll make sure I let you guys all know ahead of time when I go to do that. I thought about doing it pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening and have a wonderful weekend. Tomorrow's Friday, guys. You made it. You almost made it through the weekend. Bye, guys.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up now. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now.